Alright folks, Rich Van Tassel finishing up our game picks for week 11 of the NFL season. And of course we are recording audio for Get Live Radio. The Buffalo Bills, 5-4, travel cross country to play the Los Angeles Chargers, who are 3-6. Bills are 1-3 on the road. Chargers are 1-3 at home. Injuries for the visiting Buffalo Bills: Cordy Glenn, offensive tackle; John Miller, guard, are out. Jordan Matthews, wide receiver; Charles Clay, tight end; Jerry Hughes, defensive end, questionable. For the Chargers, James Onwualu, linebacker, is doubtful. Joe Barksdale, offensive tackle, is out. Hayes Puller, the third linebacker, is doubtful as well. Chris McCain, defensive end; Phillip Rivers, quarterback, questionable. The Buffalo Bills are turning to the rookie Nathan Peterman. I'm a little surprised by that. I am surprised in the sense that Buffalo is 5-4 and Tyrod Taylor is playing very well. He has less than 100 incompletions on 254 passes, low in the yardage, low in the touchdowns, but he's also low in the interceptions, and he's doing what the team asks him to do. Nathan Peterman may bring a different dynamic to this offense. They're still in the playoff chase. I was expecting the Bills were going to turn to Nathan Peterman at some point, but I didn't expect them to be in the playoff hunt that they still are as of right now at 5-4. It may not look great, but they're still definitely involved in it. Let's see how well Nathan Peterman can handle it. He was a later round pick. I'm not sure how polished he is. I would expect a lot of running with LaShawn McCoy, as they always do. He's still below 4 yards per carry, but he's just shy of 600 yards, so they run him a lot. Look for a guy like Charles Clay to be much involved in the offense, a tight end. He's their leading receiver to begin with, and they're going to rely on him even more with a rookie quarterback. For the Chargers, let's see if Phillip Rivers is unable to go. I'd be surprised if he's not. Melvin Gordon is starting to come along. They're really going to need him. This is a tricky game. I'm thinking the Chargers are going to win because Buffalo is traveling all the way out there, and they're turning to the rookie quarterback, which, again, I'm very surprised by. I don't think he's going to do much to really ignite the offense or make them anything that they're not, because they're running offense to begin with, and the Chargers are going to find a way to get the victory in this one. 27-20 over the Buffalo Bills. The offense just doesn't come along as you would expect for Buffalo. The Cincinnati Bengals, 3-6, travel to Denver to play the Broncos, who are 3-6. Cincinnati 1-4 on the road. Denver 3-2 at home. Injuries for the visiting Bengals: Brendan LaFell, wide receiver; William Jackson, the third cornerback, questionable. Adam Jones, cornerback; Kevin Minter, linebacker, are out. For the Broncos, Jeff Heerman, tight end, is out. Cody Latimer, wide receiver; Donald Stevenson, offensive tackle, questionable. Neither one of these teams is likely going to the playoffs. Actually, I'd say they're almost certainly not. Denver is really struggling with the quarterback position. I'm surprised they haven't turned to Paxton Lynch yet. Brock Osweiler is doing nothing more than Trevor Siemian did. If anything, Brock Osweiler is probably a little worse. He's probably a little more reckless with the ball. It is in Denver. It's a tough place to play. Cincinnati's offense has come along at times, but I think their offensive line struggles are going to show themselves pretty apparent in this game, as Von Miller has a sack fest. Guys like Derek Wolfe also get involved, and you see the Denver Broncos win a game at home where it's a tough place to play. I like the score 27-17. Cincinnati's offense struggles in this game. Interesting one for where it is. The New England Patriots, 7-2, are playing the Oakland Raiders, who are 4-5 in Mexico City. We'll talk about that in just a moment. First, let's do the injuries for you. Danny Amendola, wide receiver; Martellus Bennett, tight end, are questionable. Marcus Cannon, offensive tackle; Matthew Slater, wide receiver; David Andrews, center, are out. For the Oakland Raiders, Marshall Newhouse, offensive tackle; Corey James, linebacker; Gabe Jackson, guard; David Emerson, cornerback. It's all questionables, and Emerson, the cornerback, is doubtful. So, Oakland is used to playing in Mexico City. It's an Azteca Stadium, or Estadio Azteca, however you want to say it. Difficult place to play. It's been noted for soccer players who have gone there to play. There's a lot of smog because of the location of the stadium, the way it is in Mexico City. You're high in elevation. It can be very tough, especially for the big guys to play, like the offensive and defensive linemen. Oakland is somewhat used to it. Oakland's season is really gone downhill. They've had the injuries. It's not living up to what has been expected. They're 4-5. A potential run could be in place. It'd be nice to get started here. I think they have a major advantage, as they have played in Mexico City before, so they should know what they're going to be able to bring to the table. what to expect with the weather and the conditions there. And I think Oakland may be able to surprise the New England Patriots in this one and possibly springboard the rest of their season. I expect them to get the victory in this one. I like 24-21. New England is going to have trouble with the elements that are involved. Whether or not the Oakland Raiders make the playoffs will remain to be seen, but I think a potential chance in these last 7 games where they'd have to go at minimum 5-2 would start with this game. And then the Sunday night game, the Philadelphia Eagles, 8-1, travel to Dallas to play the Cowboys, who are 5-4. Eagles 3-1 on the road, Cowboys 2-2 at home. The Cowboys really struggle at home. Injuries for the visiting Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, the wide receiver, is questionable. He's the only one listed. For the Cowboys, Malik Collins, defensive tackle. Jeff Heath, safety. Tyron Smith, offensive tackle. Jeff Swain, tight end, questionable. Sean Lee, the linebacker, is out. That's very serious. Of course, Tyron Smith has to go in this game. If he doesn't, the Cowboys have no chance. I'd assume if he doesn't go, they'd adjust somewhat to what they were doing last week when Chaz Green got the start, but they were just getting mauled on the left side. They need Tyron Smith to hold it down. Ezekiel Elliott withdrew his appeal of the suspension, so he's going to miss 5 more games. I don't know exactly what the Cowboys' running situation is. I thought they ran the ball fairly well last week, but remember, Tyron Smith was out. Their offense never really could get rolling because there were just so many times they were behind the down in the distance because of sacks in that game. So I don't think that the running game is necessarily critically harmed by the Elliott injury, or the Elliott suspension, that is, but we have to see what happens when the Cowboys offense can move the ball well. Sean Lee being out, that really hurts the Cowboys, especially against the good offense. The Eagles are coming off the bye week. Carson Wentz playing very well. Not to say that Dak Prescott is not. Dak Prescott will have to carry the Cowboys to victory in this one. You can call me the homer because I'm a Cowboys fan. I think Dallas rises up in this game, finds a way to get the victory, and keep their season going. It's going to be a tough task for the Cowboys with what they have facing. They have to get the victory in this one. I expect a close game, but I like 27-24, the Cowboys over the Philadelphia Eagles, and it'll be interesting to see if Dan Bailey is able to go, because that could be the difference in this game.